Hi, I'm Michelle Munro, Director of Tax and Retirement Research at Fidelity Canada. Today, I'm going to be answering your top retirement questions from social media. Let's get into it. The standard retirement age is considered to be age 65, but it's actually been increasing. So, according to Statistics Canada, back in the late 90s, the average age of retirement was age 61, and today it's age 65. We're back to that standard retirement age. But deciding what is best for you, well, how financially ready are you? And how emotionally ready are you? Thinking it's a big change from your working years to your retirement years. But once you feel financially ready, once you feel emotionally ready, then you have the flexibility to start when it's best for you. Yesterday, but the next best option is today. In all seriousness, the best advice that I received when I first started working was to invest 10% of my gross income from every paycheck and save that for retirement. Now, we can debate whether 10%, 15%, or even 20% might be the right percentage, but to start the discipline of investing for retirement as early as possible is a winning strategy. I'm going to share a quote from you. It comes from Einstein. He's quoted as saying, "The power of compounding is the eighth wonder of the world." Starting early cannot be overemphasized. Registered retirement savings plans, called RRSPs. They are really intended for retirement savings. Now, contribution room is based on earned income, which generally means employment income. Now, you get a tax deduction for your RSP contribution, and that usually means you get a tax refund, which feels pretty good. Now, inside your RSP, you can invest in mutual funds, ETFs, stocks, bonds. There's quite a few products you can invest inside your RSP. Those investments inside the RSP will grow on a tax-deferred basis. So that means the earnings and the growth inside the RSP are not subject to tax. But when you're in retirement and make a withdrawal, then that withdrawal is taxed. Another advantage of the RSP is that you're usually in a lower tax bracket in retirement than in your working years. What that means is that you get a tax deduction for the RSP contribution in your high earnings and your high tax rate years, and you get that income inclusion for that RSP withdrawal in your lower earnings and your low tax rate years. So there's additional tax savings there. To the extent that you're able, try to max out your RSP contributions each and every year. Now, you probably will fall short 1 year, 2 years, and that unused contribution room will carry forward to the next taxation year. Do your best to catch up in the next year. A generation ago, it would have been unthought of to retire with debt. Now, with lower interest rates for the last decade or so, it's been more common, but not often discussed, for some people to retire with some sort of debt. Now today, interest rates are increasing, so we have higher interest rates and the pendulum is swinging back, and people are feeling less and less comfortable entering retirement with debt. One retirement strategy is to downsize your big home in a high-value area for a smaller home in a more affordable area, and then use the net equity to fund your retirement. But consider some of what are the moving costs. What does your post-retirement lifestyle look like? Where will your family and friends be? It's harder to establish yourself in a new location as you get older. as well as often people move into a condo and they find that it's more expensive than anticipated. So this is an area where you really want to get into the numbers before making a big move. Great question, and it's actually more common than you might think. Just because you don't have a clear vision doesn't mean you shouldn't stay focused on saving and investing. Your retirement goal is to have the financial security to have choices in retirement. You'll want to set yourself up for success, and along the way, you'll discover that new hobby or interest or the focus you want to have in retirement. But remember, you don't need to have any grand plans for that fulfilling retirement. There's no one universal or magic number to how much money you need to retire comfortably. And even with my own retirement savings, I don't know for sure, but let me go through a few approaches that will give you some guidelines. The first approach is called an age-based savings milestones. So let me give you some examples of how this works. By age 30, you want to have 1 times your salary saved. By age 40, your goal is to have 3 times your salary saved. Now we're gradually increasing to age 65, and the goal here is have 10 times your salary saved, with some saying that you actually want to have 12 times your salary. So some other approaches include what's called the replacement income, where you want to replace, say, between 70 to 90% of your pre-retirement income. So let's use some numbers. Let's say your pre-retirement income is $100,000. Your goal is to have between $70,000 and $90,000 post-retirement income. Another approach is called the 4% safe withdrawal rate or the 4.5% sustainable withdrawal rate. Again, let's use some numbers. Say you have $1 million retirement nest egg. Using the 4% safe withdrawal rate, you're looking to have $40,000, or the sustainable 4.5% withdrawal rate is we're looking at $45,000 per year from that nest egg. Very rarely are people linear when it comes to that, using that method. A final method is just the lump sum amount. Some people say you need $1 million before you retire. Some, with the increased cost of living and longer life expectancies, are now saying $1.5 million. So there's a lot of things to be thinking about. And this is where a financial advisor can really provide some value in helping you determine how much you need for your own retirement. This is something many people face in the next phase of their life. Here are the top 3 things I would think about doing. 1, set yourself up into a daily routine. Get up at the same time, have your breakfast, go about your routine. 2, exercise, find a new hobby. 3, spend more time with your family and loved ones. What's better than that? My retirement plans. Well, you know, this is a tough one because you see social media, they have that happy couple on the beach. You know, I'm much more stay closer to home, family and friends. You'll find me on a ski hill, you'll find me on the tennis court, you'll find me at my cottage, playing with my dogs, working in my garden. That's going to be my retirement plan. For more in-depth information on retirement themes and research, check out Fidelity's 2024 Retirement Report.